It just start recording. Ain't no 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, welcome to MILF Ministry podcast. We are very busy, okay? We recording. So today we have another guest. Today we have, I didn't even think about how you want to introduce yourself. So why don't you introduce yourself how you want the world to know you, because this is going on YouTube. What names you want them to know. I didn't think about that. To see what happens when you know people for real.
Tikia.
Okay. So our guest today is Tikia.
Mm-hmm.
She's a FAMU graduate again, an educator as well, and she has a love of music. And my name is Ayodele. Your motivational MILF, half business, half creative. And we're just going to get into some music memory vibes because we have music connections, music event connections, and we're going to also talk about what it feels like, to have your dreams deferred. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it drop like a raisin in the sun? Because both of us were going real hard towards music in 2012, 2013. And I don't know, it just feels like we did some great things, and then we just started working and paying bills, and that was it.
Yes, what got deferred, our dreams got deferred because life happened. So
okay, I'm gonna ask you to speak up because I don't know the quality of the audio, so just yell a little bit as you're talking.
Okay, got you. But yeah, life happened. So
yeah, life happened. So I think you were working on music professionally before I even thought about working on music professionally. So why don't we start about okay, so I didn't think about music as a career until like 2004, 2005. When did you think about music as a career?
Like 98, 99. Yeah.
Was there someone in your life or something happened, or was it your environment? Like, what made you be like, I can make money from this?
Honestly, it's probably like 96, 97.
Okay.
There was a group at my school, and it was R&B group, and they were good, but that was it. You didn't hear much from them, but they were like really, really talented.
And at your school, is this high school or is this
my
college?
High school? That was American, and
America is in North Miami.
Miami Lakes.
Miami Lakes? Okay. Well, give me right now.
But yeah, so I was like, they're really good. I like how they sound and stuff like that. So I was, I was interested in them, but how everything worked. So that kind of just sparked my interest in the music. And then graduated from high school, and I still like music. I love to hear music. I wanted to be a producer. That was my original goal.
I forgot about that. Okay, we're going to have to talk offline about some stuff MILF Ministry Records is working on.
I wanted to be a producer like Missy. So that was my inspiration. Missy Elliott. Female producer. But I just didn't know how to go about it. So once I got to school, went away to school, because I went to school down here first. I just started calling people like, hey, if you're looking for an intern on these studios. So that's when I interned at what was it called? Wild. I don't even remember the name of it. But TJ's.
Okay.
So did that for a summer. Met people, networked with people, met producers, saw how the whole DJ pool worked. And then I left there, got, because school started again. Then I got into interning for the radio station there.
In Tallahassee?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I interned for the radio station pretty much till I graduated.
Okay. I don't know. Why didn't I remember that?
Yeah, but I am.
That is so
I
weird.
interned, and so I was at.
I would have tried to get into a free concert or something. Now, hold on.
Yes, and we did the concerts up there, our homecoming concerts. I learned we did what did they call them? The remotes or something like that, where the station promotes the business.
Okay.
We were always at like Kia or like I don't know. I was giving away CC pieces and all that stuff. We did club nights. So yeah, that was my experience.
Okay. And my experience with music, I really didn't think about music professionally until my ex husband was performing at the MTV Awards, and all of the artists there needed help reviewing their contracts. I was in law school at the time. I don't know if it was my first year or second year. I can't really recall. But everyone there was like, we don't understand what this is saying. We don't know what's going on. And I'm like reviewing it and explaining it. And I'm like, oh, this is a profession. Mm-hmm. And then the artist that my ex was performing for was Ludacris. And Ludacris had everyone that I saw was black. So he had a black choreographer. Mm-hmm. He had a black manager, Shaka. There was an assistant there, Tikia. Like everybody was black. And I just remember being very impressed because like everything was on time, organized, this, that, like all the rehearsals were on time. And I'm like, these are some black professionals. Yeah. And they're handling some black ass business and they're doing it on time. Okay, so like this is a business. Mm. Like it's more than the joy. It's a business. Mm-hmm. So I started to really become obsessed with the idea of leaving Miami and moving to Atlanta and starting a career as a music business professional. Mm-hmm. So like while we were in Tallahassee together, I just remember partying, hanging out and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I guess we'll fast forward a little bit because I actually did move to Atlanta. I was there for like 2 years and then came back to South Florida, had my child, and about 2 years later, I don't know, because we always remained friends but never really talked about music as a business. Right, just hanging out. But around 2012 is when I started going to like the American Black Film Festival and seeing panels, and then I was reminded of all the panels that I had attended in Atlanta, Tallahassee, and I started to think we could use something like that in Miami. And so I don't know how, what, where, or when, but we both reconvened with our mutual friend Poppy, God rest his soul. Mm-hmm. He was a music promoter and just a well-loved person down here in Miami. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember. Do you remember how you met Poppy? I feel like I met him.
I met Poppy through, yeah. So I met Poppy when I went to Allure Mason's. She used to do the conferences.
The Florida Entertainment Summit.
Yeah, okay, so she was doing a conference, and I met a guy named Mike Johns. So Mike Johns was like, it was like, oh yeah, you need to get to know him. He's somebody to know. He's this guy who he started the ringtone thing. Blah, blah. So I linked up with him on an intern thing, and through him, he introduced me to Poppy.
Okay.
So that's how me and Poppy connected. So yeah, it was a go from there. So Poppy we just became cool. Okay. After that.
So, I mean, we're talking about music, but this podcast has a lot to do with joy and pleasure. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to get into like songs that bring us joy, songs that get us in the mood and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was important to talk about like our music business background as well. Mm-hmm. So before we get into some of the juicy, fun stuff about music, like, do you have any memories of like the first song that you loved or that got your attention? Like, wow, this is cool. This is sexy.
High Five. Well, that's not the first song, but
whatever comes to mind.
High Five. Yeah. I like the way. I like the way, and Tracy Spencer Tender Kisses.
Okay, like can you go back to like, do you have like a memory associated with that? Like, oh, this is really nice.
I remember being in middle school and we all was trying to sing it.
Right. Okay.
That was
takes you back. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All us singing it. I just remember that.
So for me, my music memories are definitely Sade, Sweetest Taboo. I remember being at a nice restaurant with my family, like some kind of Chinese dining or something in Nashville, Tennessee. I couldn't have been more than 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. And they were playing the song, and I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, that sounds kind of okay.
That's funny.
And then her voice came on, and I was like, okay. As it's knocking, okay.
That's funny, because as a kid, I just didn't get
You really didn't? Oh, that.
I was like, oh.
I love bass lines though. Like that bass line and the way she's singing, and like now as an adult, I can appreciate it so much more.
Now, but as a kid, I was like,
yeah, that's so funny. But yeah, I was like, okay, she, you know, as the kids say, this motherfucker spitting. Hold on, she done tapped into something.
Yeah.
And then my second music memory is Bob Marley, Stir It Up, performing it live, and he's like playing the guitar, and I'm like, he looked cool as hell. Who is this? Like, I know my parents, you know, play all kind of music, but he's one of the first music memories I have of like stopping what I'm doing and looking at who's on the screen and like noticing how he's swaying and how he's singing, and I'm like, I didn't know what swag was at 5 or 6, but like looking back, like I was definitely drawn to like, it was deeper than the music. It was his stage presence that caught my attention, and I was like, I kind of like this. And it had a wicked bass line. Doom, 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 doom. I mean, it was simple, but it was like, it was just catching my attention. So, my family to this day, anytime they hear I'm dating a musician or something like that, they ain't never surprised. So they was like, girl, there was no way you was gonna escape it. You've always like been drawn to music. So, I want to talk to you about being a Black woman in the music space that like wants to hold on to your integrity and wants to be treated as a businesswoman. Like, what was it like getting an internship at the radio station?
It was actually cool. For a college kid, because we looked at it as we were a street team, clubs, getting the clubs free, drinks free. So that was cool. And then one of the DJs, I don't remember the DJ, but one of the DJs was like trying to show us different things, how it really worked. So he would say, hey, let me show y'all what to do and all that stuff. So it was a good experience.
And when you say really work, was it like breaking records, having artists come perform, or just running a night at the club? Like, what was he showing?
He showed us more like inside the radio station stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it wasn't like not breaking radios and all that stuff. I did learn how. Well, they don't really do it now, I don't think. But like when I interned for TJ, I saw how artists, when they wanted their records broken by a pool, how they would send stuff. Like I remember Ray J sent his promotion package, and he had like this was for that song, I think, Wait a Minute. And he sent
that was a banger too.
Right. He sent like a basketball net and all that. I remember that. So that was something he sent with his record and everything like that. What else did I learn? How when they was making mixtape, but I think they had to stop. You know how they would choose their songs, stuff like that. So that was an experience.
Okay.
So, and they had me one time shipping off. Well, I didn't ship it off, but putting together the records that they were sending to their different DJs in the pool. Okay. So they were like, well, you need to put this here and put this here. So, but yeah. But, you know, sometimes working with men, or just some people in general, my experience is with men, you become more of an assistant. That's how they see you. They don't really see you on the level. Well, they don't see you kind of on that level of equal, and they'll pick your brain, but it's like they're not really seeing you as somebody that this is a partner type thing. Right. So I've had that experience with all my internships and stuff like that.
And I feel
except
like
for the radio station.
And I feel like even if we were to talk to music executives like Amber Grimes or Ethiopia or someone like that, Shanti, everyone started as an intern, and you had to just kind of prove yourself and make your way up. No one was like, oh my gosh, I want to hear what this young 20-year-old chick has to say. Like, it's, unless you had a family member or you had proven yourself in some other kind of way. I think it is a little tougher in that regard. Yeah. My benefit, so to speak, was the fact that I was an attorney and had some level of understanding contract law. So people would pick my brain on an even different level. But one of the biggest things that I had issues with was I didn't really know what a talent manager was or a talent agent was. And I actually enjoyed the creative process of music. So some of my first clients, like before we get to the 2012 of us doing an event together, back in like 2007, 2008, 2009, I would interact with like independent artists. I would be at all the open mics. I would see everyone like B.O.B., Janelle Monáe, everybody before they became famous and didn't even care, performing everywhere. The Billboard Awards, or the Billboard Conference, sorry, not awards. I think it was like Atlanta Showcase. There was Almost Famous Showcase. There were like all these showcases that you had to kind of like touch. And actual music executives like Kawan Prather and Ray Daniels, who's a music manager, like all these people would be there with their unsigned talent. Because like Theron was a part of Rock City, and Theron writes for everybody. Lizzo, Rihanna, Pour It Up, all these things. I think Lizzo, About Damn Time. So like they have like 20-year music careers, but my introduction to all these people is just open mic night, doing it. So by the time 2012 came and I had left Atlanta and I was a mom, I just felt so far removed from everything. And it was tough, but I still stand on business, as they say about us having an eye for talent, because the performers we wanted for our 2012 show were D1, August Alsina, and Mac Wiles. We didn't book none of them, y'all. We weren't able to book any of them. But those are all names that you all know 11 years later, which is just an example of us having a good eye for talent.
I remember.
And
we were definitely
like
trying to get August.
Longevity. Like
we were just August.
we were trying to get all of these up and coming people. Like they might have had one record or something that had blown up on YouTube, or maybe, I'm pretty sure by the time, the issue is by the time the conference came around, August Alsina's record was gone. Like, I Love This Shit was already an actual hit. So it was like, it was way too late by the time.
I remember
because our event didn't have till December.
Going over like.
Yes.
And then we're trying to figure out. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we tried. I don't remember if we ever got in touch with any of Mac Wiles' people. But we were in touch with D1's manager, and I don't remember who we were talking to for August, because I had a label connection at the time. So I don't really remember who we were trying to talk to. But at some point, we got hit with a figure that wasn't a new conference trigger, y'all. So, yeah. But anyway, then we had a lot of wins, because Poppy, as we said, the person that was the main orchestrator, and he actually respected our opinion.
He did.
And I just remember, like, it's nice to work with men that value your opinion, respect your opinion, your ideas, and everything.
And he definitely saw us as equals.
Yes, which was interesting, because out of the 800 people that showed up, I think we all invited about 25. Like, we didn't have a lot of people that showed up or a lot of pull, like, specifically for our name. He was bringing the crowd. And everybody that he wanted to show up showed up. So like Benzino showed up for him. I think, was it Dre from Cool and Dre? No, it was Cool from Cool and Dre. It was a popular songwriter. It was somebody that was songwriting in the music industry that showed up, and there was some artists as well that I don't remember now that we should remember.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah,
it was so many people.
But like, people actually showed up to give knowledge to the Miami market, and we had a lot of opening acts come and perform. And
that was my thing.
Right. And one of our hosts, one of our MCs for the night, like, she's doing her thing. Now, I forgot she was connected to the event. She's like, she does makeup for Trina and Nene Leakes, Lala, the fashionistas. She was one of our MCs. I forgot.
Oh,
it was her and Louis Knuckles. He was another promoter.
Yeah.
So, long story short, we had some people come through. Looking back, and it's just yeah. That's why you can see, like, you can be on a path and be working towards something, and
it's funny because Hip Hop and Models came from when I did my showcase.
So he came to your showcase?
Yeah, Poppy was there.
That's what it was.
Poppy
I kept trying to remember.
Poppy came and he liked it, and he was like, So what we gonna do? How can we make it bigger?
And you see how I be blocking stuff out? My girl was doing her own open mic showcases in Atlanta. You had to find a location, have a DJ.
Oh, here.
What did I say? Atlanta. Sorry,
here.
In Miami. You were doing your own night. You sure were.
Yep.
And you had artists that would come out and perform. Why am I forgetting?
I did the live band thing.
I guess I had a new mom brain. Yes, and you had a band.
I did too. So, yeah. So I had that. The Talent Disconnected. Did the live band thing. You guys came. And that's when he was like, what can we do? So then I was like, I want to do it like, I want to make it like, we combine the technology. We're doing like a trade show and live band. He was like, let's do it. That's when the hip hop and models. He was like,
right.
About this. So that's when it became what it became. And then before we started working on the next one after that one. And then I did the second one. Because they were like, we have to have something in between.
Right.
So I did the second one.
Which he helped with, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot the place. But yeah.
And Poppy was so powerful. Like I did an event during the American Black Film Festival at some hotel in South Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like executives from SAG, or not executives, representatives from SAG-AFTRA. And for our music event, we had representatives from the Grammys come to help people learn about the Grammy Awards, how to be an actual member, how to be a college member. Like, it was a real legitimate event. And I'm like, looking back, like, we really did some shit and we didn't even know what we were doing.
Yeah.
But we did it anyway. And I love it.
Yeah.
So that's why this episode is really important, talking about Dreams Deferred, because sadly, so we did Hip Hop and Models. We were planning the event for December 3rd, 2013. And June of 2013 is when I did my ABFF film panel mixer event. And that year was special because a few of my friends had all graduated from NYU, and a bunch of them had films in the HBO short showcase. And so people like Shaka, I can't remember Shaka's last name. I think it's Shaka King. Don't make me, I'm sorry. He literally directed Judas and the Black Messiah. Like, he's like doing big things now. He directed that. And then I met Kiera Jones. That was the first film that I worked on. That was my first IMDb credit. So we were like taking the work that we did and really actually making moves with it. And then we did a breast cancer awareness event. And then
right in Hollywood.
Yeah, right in Hollywood. And then I don't know what kind of fate was in store for us, but literally like a couple of weeks later, we found out our friend Poppy was diagnosed with cancer, and he did not last long. Like, it was like, it's still to this day is like very jarring, because it's like we did a breast cancer event, we're planning our other event, we having successful events, like hundreds of people are showing up to our events, different things that we're doing in Miami, and then he gets sick and everything stops.
Yeah.
Like, did you try? Because I don't remember. I definitely did not do any more events after that. Did you do any more events?
No.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the wind was knocked out of us. And then a year later, I moved to LA. And that was pretty much that. And when I moved to LA, the first thing I did was I connected with more Black and Sexy TV people.
I did do other events, but I was working with somebody.
Okay.
So I was just kind of helping them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically losing our friend Poppy just kind of like sucked or knocked the wind out of us. And when I moved to LA, I started connecting with Black and Sexy TV people like Janine Daniels and Insecure writers before they were Insecure writers, like Ben Corey Jones. This was before he was writing for an Amazon TV show called The Hand of God. And then he started writing for Insecure. Or maybe he was writing for Underground first and then Insecure. But like, I started connecting more with like television and internet people.
I remember when you did the table read. We did that table read.
Oh, shoot. See, I forgot about that. So after I did the American Black Film Festival, I was working with a Haitian filmmaker. And
Black and Sexy.
Well, no.
Oh.
She wanted to have Numa from Black and Sexy be the lead in her film. And so I went to a table read and I met Numa from Black and Sexy, and I met one of my really good friends to this day, Martine Jean, my good friend and producing partner, because we just worked on a film this summer. And that's definitely been a dream deferred, because we was been talking about making a film, and we just made the film, but we made it, y'all, 2023, and I met her in 2013. It took us 10 years to actually make a film, but we did it, y'all. So
that's funny. I was I'm an assistant director on the film.
Cool. See, come on, we working on stuff.
I don't know. No, this is old though. This was even.
Oh, this was before.
It's on Stars. It's called The Next Hit. I think Chanel, you remember?
Okay.
Yeah. So every once in a while they play it on Stars.
As
like, they put my name.
Said, a win is a win.
I don't even watch the movie. I just listen to my name. Look, y'all.
I can't even find the first movie I did.
My name.
Okay, the first
Tikia Douglas.
Thank you. Thank you. A win is a win.
A win is a win.
Your name is an IMDb.
No.
If you on Stars, you should. We'll look that up after the show. Okay. I don't even know how to find. I tried to find my movie for the holidays and I couldn't. Mine was called A Christmas Wedding Baby. It aired on BET. But I
think I saw it. I didn't see it, but I saw it like
years later.
No, I think it was mentioned on TV. I think it was coming on or something like that.
It should be. It was BET bought it, and so the money they paid for it, they gonna keep airing it forever in perpetuity. But it was considered a win because the money that it cost to make the film, she got her money back. And in filmmaking, that's a win. It's not always about like becoming rich or wealthy. It's about not being in debt by the time the project is over. So that was a win. Yeah. So I was focused on film, and I was trying to do a little bit of like music stuff as well, but film was more than anything. And at that point, I think when we talked, it would just be about life. We didn't really talk about any music, dream goals, anything at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, prepping for this interview was the first time we started talking about stuff again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, let's talk about some stuff, because once again, we're going to get into some fun stuff. But let's talk about what you're working on now in music, in fashion.
Nothing really in music.
Okay.
Well, yeah, nothing really in music because, I have some artists who ask me for assistance and then they're not ready for the assistance. So I've definitely taken like a backseat to it.
And what does that look like for anybody that's like interested in getting into music? What does it look like for artists to ask you for assistance but not really be ready?
Well, they have to have a budget. It's not free.
Let's start and end there.
Things that you want done cost money, and for things to be done correctly, it costs money. So a lot of times I'm running then they want to take a shortcut, and it's just not the reality of the world, especially
right.
So it's just they have to get their budget together. It costs money. Like, it's nothing free. Even if they're asking, hey, can you get me on this or submit my music here or there, it's not free. I don't have that relationship with these labels to say, hey, I got new art, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take money,
Yeah.
And I'm not managing, so it's not my money. So where's your budget? Put your budget together. And then they have to be consistent.
That's really the number one thing. I mean, honestly, even with me, let me take an accountability moment. Like the last episodes I recorded was in 2020. It is 2023, and I am just now getting back started. And part of it is because the video element expanded, and I was just like, I can talk shit, but y'all got to look at me while I'm like, hold on now. I got to be on camera. So like just getting comfortable with the concept of being on camera. And then I had a lot of solo episodes. So then it would be like, I'm just going to sit here and talk to the camera by myself. I would rather like have conversations with people that I know. And then it's like, oh, finding guests. And I just started sitting in fear, not making any moves.
Yeah.
But life has been lifing. And this year I was like, you know what? I love to talk about life, music, everything. I already have MILF Ministry as a podcast brand, whatever. If I stop only talking about, how to get ready for sex or dating experiences and just talk about whatever I want to talk about, whatever brings me joy, and focus more on the honey for your spirit element, it'll be easier for me to relaunch the podcast. So thanks for being a guest. I know I thanked you already, but yeah, thanks for being a guest and helping me get started. And we're just going to talk about whatever I want to talk about, whenever I want to talk about it, and whoever wants to hear it will listen, and that's how it's going to go. So I want to get to some fun stuff. So I'm introducing some new segments, and in the segments we talk about like how we interact with music. So before we get there, I had this idea to. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did.
Okay, so Queen seriously was my favorite character because she was diabolical, and she killed women, men,
babies,
children. She didn't care. She blew up a whole city because they wanted her to show up for court, and she said, "Fuck y'all, I ain't showing up," and just blew the whole city up. Okay. Yeah. So once again, every episode I'm going to have to say I'm not inciting violence. I'm not. Okay, but I like to have a little balance. We want to talk about joy, so we got to talk about a little pain. So, if I were to create a Queen Seriously hotline where you could say what you would have done had you not had to go to work, had you not had to pick up your kids from school, had you not had to whatever, what you would have done in a scenario where someone had you fucked up. Do you have a scenario that comes to mind? If not, that's fine. We can move on to the fun stuff. But sometimes it's fun to vent about that one time where you would have just, you would have. You're a peaceful person, so this might be tough for you.
I'm also a Libra, so.
Okay.
I might incriminate myself.
Right, and it's public. That's why I said don't listen.
And I'm an educator.
Exactly. This is going to the YouTubers.
Move on.
Right, we're gonna skip. Okay. All right. That's all right. So this is the honey for your spirit, spirit segment. I'm gonna redo that in case I want to edit this. Okay. So moving on. This is the honey for your spirit segment. If we were in LA, I'd have a little bit of honey and we sip, actual little taste of honey. Because now we're gonna get into the vibes. Okay, it's time to talk about music. So I fall in love with music like I fall in love with people. And I want to know, have you ever been in a situation where you were alone with someone, they played a song, and you were like, is he playing with me? Just based on the song selection.
Based on the song.
Can you go back to any moments in time?
Yes. When I was in school, though.
Yeah, no matter how far.
Okay.
The memories is what matters.
Yeah, so the guy, it was late at night, I think. Green. He kept playing Pretty Ricky songs.
That's not
so I'm thinking like he was like, I went to school with them or whatever. And he just kept playing Pretty Ricky songs. I'm like, trying to tell me something?
I was not expecting
I thought we was just chilling.
I thought y'all was vibing. It's
Pretty
Ricky is all hip thrust and grinding.
He kept playing different tracks. And I was like, they cool, but
I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, that was the
Okay. All right, so let's flip it a little bit. If you were trying to be subtle, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You was trying to throw a little hint that you was available, and you had the aux cord or now the Bluetooth connection because it's 2023. What song would you pull up to make that person pause and that person be like, "Is she playing with me?"
Ooh. I would say SZA, but that might scare her.
It depends on the song. She got some songs.
Dang, let's see.
Because while you thinking, I like SZA Pretty Little Birds.
Pretty Little Birds.
Take all of my hair down and let you lay in it.
Some Janae.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think what would be a good song. Which I played a lot of Janae.
Mm-hmm.
Like one point, I just kept playing her. I can't think of a specific song. But I feel like all of Janae Aiko stuff would get you in them.
Right.
And send hints. You know what I mean?
That's
I feel
true.
like majority of her songs get like.
Yeah, because I can think of some songs right now, like 20. There's a song with her and Big Sean off that 2088 album, where she's like, "I want that outside, inside." That'll give someone an idea.
I feel like majority of her songs is
That's true. Okay. What's a guaranteed song to put you in the mood? You a music person, you got to have a playlist. I know you got a playlist.
I do, but it's just random stuff. I have an R&B playlist.
Okay. And I got it hard because I got to try to think of different songs every episode.
I don't have anything specific. Oh my God.
Okay, give me an artist. What artist, like if you start in your playlist, and it's been a long day and you got to change your energy. Like you about to take a shower, you about to light some candles, you got to change your energy.
So I'm always going to throw on Jasmine.
Come on now.
Jasmine is clean the house early Saturday morning. SZA.
But we talking about getting ready for some lovey-dovey.
Jasmine, Janae.
Okay.
Brent. And then 90s R&B. Just the whole playlist. Anything R&B 90s slow jams.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Me and Chanel was playing a song. No, Chanel was playing a song. 112. You already know.
Oh.
And I said, God damn. I just now really listened to the song.
Man. Yeah. What?
I was like, oh my word. If somebody played that and I was intoxicated.
That's it. Yeah, that
I might think he's trying to tell me he already know how to do some things. Assume the position.
Yeah. Dang, I forgot about this.
They was being nasty, talking about give you that raw. That raw what, sir? Excuse me. Excuse me. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ask no questions, assume the position.
Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge is a good move.
Yeah, they got some.
Yeah.
They got some grooves.
But yeah, that you already know.
Because this is MILF Ministry. We talking about nasty. We ain't talking about no, I want to be the one you need. I mean, that's cute. I fuck with y'all. I fuck with Jagged Edge. But we talking about assume the position.
Yeah.
So once again, if I was sitting smoking with somebody and that song came on, I wouldn't even be asking if you flirt. I'm like, oh, you
already know.
Yeah. You trying to communicate something.
Yeah.
You trying to tap into a frequency. So the frequency, I've named the frequency. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I don't care how many viewers we get because I'm going to keep repeating it, okay? I call this, they done tapped into the clickety-clap frequency. Okay? That because we're not being subtle no more. You put on 112, you already know. I don't feel like you're being subtle.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any songs that a specific song? Because you were talking about artists. Anything comes to mind? Now that I gave you an idea. Any clippity clap frequency songs? Any song where your vagina starts clenching, like, hold on, we may not want to stop the night.
Jasmine and Ari.
They was being grown. Anytime you want to sit and spit.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
Think of something else. Mm-hmm.
So if you see Tikia, she playing that song, she going to be grown, y'all. That's her business.
That's it. Grown people business.
Right, that's her business. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of my new segments that I want to talk about. So, do you want to tell people about your clothing line or future music goals?
Yeah. All right. So, the clothing line is Intense Threads, and so I've already had it up. Not the,
okay.
But I, it was on. I have it on Etsy, so it's not just clothing. I sell other things as well. But now I'm going to focus mostly on the clothing because on Etsy it's digital art as well as this.
That's true.
So here on Intense Threads, it'll be just mostly clothing. So you're going to see like shirts where I may be it depends on the collection. So I may be focusing on some cosmic galactic type vibes. So it'll be like some aliens playing poker.
Okay.
Or like
or
aliens or space, aliens playing pool, aliens in Miami. It might be we're trying to go over the ice walls. Like I think like that. I'm trying to see what's beyond the ice walls type thing.
What's ice walls? I don't get that right.
Oh, ice walls. We have to talk about that on camera.
Okay, you are an educator, okay?
But yeah, so like I have that weird type vibe. Now though, I started a collection where it's focusing on self-care.
Okay.
And so a new sweater that I have it's online. It's a young lady. She's reading a book. She's by the window. She's drinking coffee or tea, and she's just relaxing and like she's in her space where she can relax and let her hair down.
Okay, and my listeners definitely need that because the number one thing I was talking about in my first set of episodes was how to de-stress and how to transition from mom mode to MILF mode. So we talked about like lighting candles and playing music and literally eating some honey or rubbing some on your skin because you really have to get out of, did you use the bathroom? Do you got any homework? What, do you have any school projects? Get all of that out of your brain and really strip down so that you can enjoy yourself sexually. Like it's the deconstruction is real. Not for every mom, but for a mom like me and some other moms that we literally have our mental load is so heavy with our personal calendars, our child or children's calendars. If you're in a relationship, the calendar of your partner, what they got going on. That is hard to like shut all of that down and just focus on your pleasure. So I like that. I like that concept. And I look forward to, say it again, Intense Threads?
Intense Threads with a Z.
With a Z. Okay. I will try to
so intensethreads.com.
Okay.
It may have the coming soon thing, but it'll soon. I'll have it soon.
Okay.
Where you'll see all of my clothing.
Okay. As long as it's about us relaxing, I feel like people will be interested in supporting. Yeah. And so what about some music goals? Because the stuff we talked about offline, I'm not going to talk about that yet. We're just going to hit them with it. Yeah. But do you have any music goals that you want to talk about or people that you're open to working with, the type of artists that are ready? Or like what's a ready artist that could come to you with a budget and get you out of retirement? And what do you want to do? Because some of the stuff I was doing back then, I don't even want to do anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of... I still, I'm a writer as well, so I still have that writing bug where I was doing the bios and the press releases and all that. So I still have it, and even I have my short stories as well. So, but so every once in a while, I'm like, dang, I do want to write for somebody, write a bio or something, and then send it somewhere. Or even with my blog, just talk. This is a new artist and check them out type thing, but. I don't know. This industry music is different. Everything is different. People do everything on their own now. Or at least they try.
But see, actually, I don't think that's a bad thing. So part of what I want to do in getting back into music is like teaching every artist how to be their own corporation. Because if someone goes, it doesn't matter if you're an athlete, actor, musician. When you go out into this world and you don't understand contracts, you don't even understand how to pick a team, bet a team, you get taken advantage of. So, case in point, there's a lady that I know that hired someone that is supposed to be Snoop Dogg's publicist, right? And allegedly, because I don't know what's going on, I don't know who his publicist is. Like I said, someone that's supposed to be his publicist, okay? She hires this person, and this person does not deliver what they said they were going to deliver. And what I said to her is, what happens sometime in this industry is that they will do everything for Snoop Dogg, and then they will fuck the little person over. And you have to kind of navigate the industry to know who moves like that and who doesn't. They're never going to embarrass themselves to Snoop. And you, this little person over here, really won't have a voice because everybody that they're supposed to take care of that they know can ruin their reputation, they're going to handle them. And then the small people they'll take advantage of. I also had another situation where someone used to be Kevin Hart's publicist, but I didn't know that. She was still listed on IMDb as his publicist. So I contacted her and told her that I was doing that same event at ABFF, told her what we were doing, and invited her out. And she was more, and talking to her about educating people on how to pick a legitimate person. Okay, and she was more concerned about like what drinks I was going to give her and what I was going to do. And I'm like, it's an open bar. Like, just come out. Like she was like heavy on what I was going to be giving her. And I'm like, there's an open bar. You and anybody you bring are going to be fine. It's covered for the first hour. Just like if you went to a wedding, that's what I've organized for this event. So as long as you come out at the time that you're scheduled, like y'all will be able to get what you need. Because God don't like ugly. I go to the premiere of Laughing at My Pain through the ABFF Film Festival. And who do I end up sitting in front of? Kevin fucking Hart and his whole team. It was the most random act of whatever in life, right? So I turn around I take a picture with Kevin, little fan pic, and then I turn around to the publicist and I'm like, hey, publicist name that I know, blah, 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 blah. And this lady looks at me like, that's not my name. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed that because you're here with Kevin, you're his publicist. She was like, I am his publicist. I was like, well, I was talking to the person I was talking to. She was like, that's not his publicist anymore. So I say all that to say that there are people that used to work with celebrities. They won't tell you that they're no longer working with celebrities.
They still want those perks that go along with it.
But my attitude is just do good work. And you will be recommended. You will be recommended, and it won't matter which celebrity you're representing. Just do your good work. There are lots of publicists that have good reputations outside of their celebrity clients. There are lots of managers that have good reputations outside of, you know what I mean? So it's like, long story short, I would like to protect future artists from people like that. So it's like teaching you how to vet the person, teaching you how to ask around, teaching you how to, just getting recommendations and how will you connect it? And do you feel like someone's trying to sell you a dream, or do you feel like someone is believing in your vision? Do you even have a vision?
They need stuff like that, because I feel like you were talking about earlier, all of those conferences and all those things that you attended, they don't have those anymore.
I know.
And so I last year I was working with a couple of guys, and they wanted to launch. We did a couple of them where the artists would come in and they would play their music, and then we voted who had the best. The other artists would vote who was the best.
So kind of like a live clubhouse room, because that's how the clubhouse rooms were.
Right. And we did a few of them, and they were successful. We even added a music interview segment in there, so that was cool too. And then all of a sudden, sometimes we work with people, it just stopped out of nowhere. So, but one of my ideas was to start doing workshops for these artists because they didn't know they had great music, but they didn't know, they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, they need to bring that element of teaching them. So like what you're talking about, they just doing maybe like a monthly workshop, and we'll choose and pick like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about today, and this is what it is. But you know, that was one of my ideas that I wanted to do. But even with the sync licensing, a lot of people don't really know about that.
Right. And how they could just make money without ever going on to
and I'm just like, you know, I still educate myself. You mentioned Ray Daniels. I listen to his podcast.
Oh yes,
just to
the
keep
God Show, right?
In the know, just to keep in the know. And I listen to his podcast and how, you know, he was just talking, just interviewing different artists and just giving his tips and experiences. And I was just like, I bet a lot of people don't even listen to this.
I'm sure.
And
another good,
not getting educated on this
at all. Another good music podcast is Tank and Jay Valentine, R&B Money.
R&B Money.
They talk about just general music education, but they have a lot of music business stories.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Do they?
but and that's what I'm saying. Like these new ones, they need that. These new ones coming up.
So the good thing is like the barrier to entry is really low. So like you can just go and there's all of these aggregator apps like, I don't know, DistroKid or whatever, and you just literally go and you get everything you need. I think they give you your ISCRC and I don't know if they copyright music, but they distribute your stuff everywhere. So I feel like people just don't worry about anything else after that. Like, let me get a hit and then I'll get a team, and that's backwards thinking.
It is having that just being able to, because I'm actually. I like the fact that they can do that, you know, because I actually work with a distribution company. It's a Black-owned distribution company, SDYP, and they actually have a lot of clients under the SDYP. It's a distribution company, so but it's like you said, they can just upload their music, get what they need, but there's no guidance behind that. So that's the element that is missing when they're able to do that, as opposed to them going through a label, getting what they need.
Right. I think another thing that will be helpful, which I should really think about more, is a lot of times I talk about like helping you pick a team, but sometimes the knowledge should be helping you create a team. Like, okay, I have a cousin that's good with numbers. You're going to be our accountant. You're going to be our business manager. And when we need help, outside of the knowledge that you can get from reading some books, you're going to come with us as we ask questions and everything. Okay, you like to read, maybe you could be the person that understands basic business principles and basic contracts, and someone that loves marketing, someone that's already naturally a promoter. Okay, you're going to handle the social media, you're going to handle this, and it'd be people that you actually know and people that actually want to see you win. That can take you so much further than people that you pay that don't have any love for you. It really, really, really can. Because they're going to be creative with the small budget that you have. And they're going to try to maximize it, both because they fuck with you, but also because they actually want to see you win. So I think that we have to do more of that as well, which is like, okay, don't go looking for a Shaka to be your manager or a TJ to be your manager. Because if you're not generating any money right now, they're like, what can y'all really do together? Like, have someone that's going to be your manager that you know, like, or be even business partners. Because one person that I'm really impressed by is Chad Oubre from the, and I hope I'm saying your name right, Chad, because I want to meet you one day, from the 85 South show. He was like, I'm not a manager, I'm a business partner. And I was like, I like that idea. It's like, no, we're trying to win together. I'm not sitting back huffing and puffing like, oh yeah, this is my artist. Like, no, I sell merch. I book this. I do that. Like, it's nothing that I'm not going to do because that's not my job. I'm really working with these artists trying to help them win. And it got me to thinking, I'm like, because there was something that was always missing to me mentally when I think about what do I want to do? Like, I want to work with real talent like Bob Marley, Maxwell. So Maxwell disappeared for 10 years and came back and still fire as ever. So it's like, you're an artist. That's not easy. It's not easy to be successful one time. But he had multiple albums in the past and disappeared and came back and is making good music. So it's like when I think about people that I want to work with, I really think about that. Like real artists that are tapped in. And once again, when you can just anybody can make music, including me and you, people don't always have a vision for like what they want to see happen.
Yeah.
So once again, how can someone get your attention? Because that was the original question. Outside of having a budget,
I have to that talent have to stick out. Like when I hear that music, I'm like, ooh, okay, we can work on the budget like that. I have to really be like willing to sacrifice my time because time is valuable.
For sure.
More than money. So, and I've had my time wasted numerous, even if I'm on the phone. Like,
it's true, yeah.
What are we talking about? What are we talking? Why are we having the same conversation? You know what I mean? So, it just have to click, and it could be a rapper or a singer. Mostly rappers, like rappers are the ones that kind of come to me.
Okay.
But I don't know, and then I'm so far removed from just even the scene down here. I don't feel the scene down here anymore because it was shaky to me before when it came to. I'm just being honest. It was so many people who were talented, but Florida's weird, man. Like other places have labels.
Yes.
Atlanta labels, actual A&Rs, actual people you can invite who just, oh yeah, I'm gonna be downtown anyway.
Yeah.
We really don't have that. They only have the Latin market. So it's
in terms of the majors, like
right,
access
the
major
to a major labels. Yeah. We have
independent labels.
But I don't know. But this market is different. You have a lot of people, they are doing shows, but just even back then, my whole thing was, why are they playing the artists? Why are these showcases and open? Why are they playing the artists? Why can't it be just the random people who enjoy music, who likes to sip wine and eat some wings and listen to just new artists? Like I feel like that's who.
Say that one more time. What do you mean? Why are they paying the artists?
Why are they playing to artists? Why are they performing to
artists? Meaning that
so that's always been my issue. That's why I started my showcase because I was just like, I want people who naturally enjoy music because I feel like those are people you want to be your fans and support you.
Right.
These other artists just want to get on stage.
Right. So the difference is when I was in Atlanta, you're correct. There will be music lovers, there will be executives, people that want to be managers, actual managers, and then there would be actual people from labels that would come and watch these showcases. And not all the time. Sometimes it really would just be like a room full of industry, not necessarily music fans, but there were definitely just music fans that would come out. And what you're saying is that in Miami, if you have an artist showcase, the room is full of people waiting to perform. And they're friends, not people that are really even looking to expand or enjoy independent music.
Now I don't know how it is now, but I just remember back in the day, it used to be just like, dang, all y'all artists. Right. Or if the artists performed, they brought people, they would leave when the artist was done.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So, yeah, that was my turn on. So, I don't know. Maybe it's shifting.
I don't know. I haven't been around enough to know or to see. But for me, I really feel like I'm trying to just tap into feelings and frequencies. And so when I think about artists that I'm drawn to, there's a certain sound, like sonically, that I'm looking for, but also your lyrics. Like, there's nothing more than I love to be chilling and be like, ooh. Like how I said that you already know. I was like, I heard you already know hella times. I know this song. It was cute, but whatever was going on with me that night, I said, oh
yeah.
I listened to it a little differently that night. And I said, oh, okay, y'all tapped in.
Yeah.
So that's a way an artist can get my attention. Like there are lots of independent artists that I've never heard anybody talk about, but I'm just like listening to Amazon Music, recommended by Chanel, or listening to Pandora or YouTube, and that frequency would just hit me. And I'm just like, yeah, just how you make that sound. Yeah. That's how I want, like, when you come to my showcase, a MILF Ministry showcase, I need you to be in that crowd. And at least one time for the night, I need you to be like, whoever you was with might get fucked. 2 nights. Yeah. Because that frequency was tapped. And y'all was like, okay, I might have to add this to the little playlist. Okay. You know? The other thing that I really want is I had a lot of good experiences at showcases, but it was a lot of bad experiences. And so I really want an environment where security is kind. You will get kicked out if you tripping, but security is kind, respectful. Because like I've been in Hollywood, and I mean like I'm 6 foot tall for context, and I'm in line, and security is like, "Oh, move to the side. I can't see." And I'm like, "It's not my fault. You're shorter than me, sir." Like, and why are you being hostile?
Not like to the side.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm in line. What did I do? I have on flats.
Wow.
Like, what are we doing here? So, like, making sure that everyone from the security to the hostess to in the room, everyone needs to be treated with kindness. Yeah. Because to me, also, if I'm doing a showcase, it's about the energy.
Yeah.
I want you to be tapped into that frequency, whether you drink, smoke, you just like comedy, because whoever's hosting has to be funny. Has to be, you know what I mean? Naturally funny. It's like, I just want you to just have a good vibe. And for me, it's like when I'm in LA and I go to a comedy show, like I can feel like I went on a trip. Because I was laughing so much. I'm like, damn, I really forgot how expensive LA is. I really forgot that I'm a single parent. Like I just had a little, no music was involved. I really had a vibe. So I think like good energy, good music will be a nice vibe, a nice setting. And also, since the world is opening back up, I think people are looking for spaces to connect and just things to do. So I think Miami, LA, Atlanta, anywhere, I think people are just like, because I can't think of a showcase that's popular anymore where you can go. Like in LA, I think Steve Mackey had like Taco Tuesday, where he had like industry people coming and vibing. Yeah. But I don't even know if I feel like they were only doing covers. I don't remember people like introducing new music.
From what I watched online, it would seem like they were just doing
covers. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, just an opportunity for people to do their thing.
Yeah, to show their vocals, their skills, their talent,
And to give them new fans and give the podcast new fans. And I'm looking forward to expanding into that. Okay. And reaching people. Those are my music goals. Like just really tapping into artists where, like I said, I just need one person for the night. Or if I only have one artist, one of their songs for the night needs to just make you pause and go, ooh, okay. Yeah. All right. I see why you were invited to MILF Ministry podcast. I see why. And I look forward to having more actual artists talking about their process and comedians as well, because like I said, the theme of everything is joy, just connecting to joy. So when I think about Dream Deferred, I always end up coming back to music. It's like something I can't escape. And we still have content creation goals of like, a lot of film content and stuff like that, but this episode was more about our music history. So when I think about a Dream Deferred, sometimes I get really sad because I think about where could I have been, where could you have been if we had just remained consistent in our music goals.
I think about that too.
Especially when I see people, I've seen executives rise, I've seen artists rise, I've seen songwriters rise.
Yeah. I was just looking at my Twitter X now. I was like, dang, I remember back in the day, my Twitter used to be popping. Like just networking with just random people. It just
I know COVID had a lot to do with shutting me down because California, the state I was living in, was shut down.
I had shut down before that.
And me too.
Yeah, like I had shut down before that. But then dipped my toe in a little bit, took it back out. Dipped my toe in again, took it back out. So, you know.
Well, I'm excited to do some of the stuff we discussed offline because I think I finally realized, like, people have told me before that there's no one stopping me from achieving any of the goals I have in entertainment but myself. And you hear people say that and you're just like, you're doing it. You know, you're around all these talented people, but it's like everybody that I look up to, whether it's a SZA or a Summer Walker that's like a songwriter, singer, because that's like my favorite combination, singer-songwriter or song, whatever they do first. I'm like, they had to just fucking start.
Yeah.
They had to start writing. They had to start singing. They were putting stuff up on YouTube, playing around with harmonies, playing around with melodies. And at some point, someone saw the consistency and was like,
yeah. On Instagram, what was her what's the girl name? Boot Up Girl.
Oh, LMI. Oh, LMA.
LMA. IG. Singing on IG. Yes.
And look at her now.
Yeah.
And what I do like about LMA is she partnered with Mustard and she worked on a project. And I talk to a lot of artists about that now, especially producers that are trying to break through. I'm like, you keep trying to like send your music to some celebrity, and it's like, create a sound with an actual artist. Because if you could think about the producers that are popular, you can always think of at least one artist that's attached to them.
Yeah, like Future and
Zaytoven.
No, Zaytoven.
Oh no, it's Gucci and Zaytoven.
Gucci and Zaytoven.
And Future
and Metro.
Thank you. Usher, Jermaine Dupri.
Yep.
Dr. Dre, Snoop. You know, Timbaland, Missy, but Timbaland and a few others.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, like when you think of people that you really, really are like, okay.
Yeah.
You think of them like really curating a sound.
Yeah.
And really working with the artist. And it also helps the artist. So, like, here's a new combo that's not as popular, but I really, really love Inglewood Sir. Inglewood Sir and DK the Punisher. They have made some awesome records over the last, like, probably 10 years. But, like, I can look at stuff that goes 7 years back. And what I'm very impressed by, DK and Sir, is how fucking serious y'all took songwriting. And from the lyrics to the melodies to everything, I'm like listening, like they didn't know who was gonna be listening to this. Like some people still don't know who Sir is, and I get furious because I'm like, he's so talented.
I've heard of Sir,
but you get what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm in LA. Like I'll be in LA with people born and raised in LA, and I'll say something about Sir, and they don't know who it is, and I'm like, he's in your demographic. Well, you like R&B. Yeah. How can this talented person from your city?
But is the radio?
I mean, I know.
Do they hear it on the radio?
I know. Like, I don't know. Like,
the radio play the top whatever.
Yeah. And to be fair, Sir does have stuff on the radio now.
Okay.
But I remember listening to his stuff from 7 years ago, and I'm like, he was making some records. And what I really respect is like, it doesn't matter if it takes you 10 years to discover me, because when you go back. Like you finna really be a fan. Like I'm not playing around with y'all, and so I really respect Sir for that. But like I said, so DK, the Punisher, and Sir. So when you think of older artists or newer artists, I'm trying to think of. I don't know the people they work with. When I think of SZA, I think of James Fauntleroy, but I technically don't know how many songs they wrote together, and I don't know if he does music and songwriting. But like there's certain sounds that I'm just like, oh, okay. Or like
but I don't know. I think he writes his own stuff. What's the guy? Vito.
Vito was talented.
I love Vito.
Vito's been getting my attention.
Yeah. I love Vito.
song lyrics and everything. He talking about take care of yourself and everything. I'm like,
I used to download like his little mixtapes and stuff, and I'm like, man, this boy is good.
Yeah,
he's good. Like,
and he, like I said, he has records. Yeah, it's like he's telling us. I guess I like people that tell stories.
Yes, and that's what stands out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I like when you tell stories, and how Sir got my attention is, I'm listening to his records, and I'm like, oh, you really like women. You really respect women, and you really care about women. You really love women, and you don't always get that from an R&B record. And when I listen to Tank R&B Money, when I hear them talking about stuff, he was like, if you don't really, really love women like that, like R&B is not even really for you. Right. Real R&B is not really for you because we're singing to it's for the women, and we're singing to the women. And if we're not singing like we love them or acting like we understand them, what are we doing? Think about why all the old music, I mean, really up until, and the 90s cheap, because the 90s stole a lot of the 70s sounds that was already fire and remixed it. Yeah.
There's a thing on TikTok that showed, and I'm like, dang.
Show all the samples?
Like, yeah, did they come up with anything?
Right. I love a sample that you can't tell it's a sample, but I'm okay with a sample.
Or even a complete remake. Like, I even saw something with Luther. I was like, dang, Luther.
Oh yeah, he was remaking some of Dionne Warwick songs. Yeah. But
like, what dang? You gotta look at Dionne. Like, okay, Dionne.
Right.
I didn't know you had that was you.
Okay. But a win is a win because we love us some Luther.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think about that stuff as well. So I guess to put a pin on it, we've had a few things that have kind of derailed us. Like I said, sometimes I get sad when I think about, like, dang, what happened if I became consistent? And now all roads are still pushing towards music. Like, that's something that I love as a passion of mine. And I was like, you know what? I've always been focused on money. Like, I need money to survive, pay LA bills, take care of my child living in LA with me. And I'm like, but I've never allowed myself to be driven or fueled by my passion and to see what that can do for me financially, because that's what a real artist does. I've always seen myself as more of a businesswoman, which is why I would never, ever just pursue my creative side or my creative goals. And I'm like, but what if I do? What if I just do? What if I search the internet and search my network for people that I actually think are talented and try to help them get content made that I think is really good? Like, what if I were to really just do that and just tune into that frequency and be like, okay, well, this is a click with that frequency for me. Hopefully other people agree, and see where that goes. And just play a numbers game of, like, I'm being authentic with the frequency and I'm just spreading it out. Like, I'm, partnering with people that I think have that sound. What would that look like? Because I've never been consistent. I've never consistently done that. Right.
I think it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
That Chanel saying she thinks it'll be amazing. We don't know how the audio will go.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I always be trying to send you customers and clients.
You do. You do.
It's nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah. So like I said, we'll talk off air.
Right.
On how you can help and not help in terms of like, oh, I need your help. Yeah. How you can partner.
Yeah.
Because we business women.
Yeah. Yeah.
We business women. So I think if we find people that are attached to the clickety clap frequency and they impress you and they impress Chanel and you're inspired to do work and they understand what consistency means. And they understand that they need some kind of budget.
Yeah.
You need some kind of budget. I think, like, why not see what we can do? Because a lot of times I think I look at people like, oh, what made them so special? Sometimes it's not that they're so special, they just kept trying.
Yeah.
And they did what they believed, and then eventually something caught on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we think it's more complicated than that, and it's not.
It's not. It's not.
You had a music showcase that people were showing up to, and I forgot about it. That's not easy to do. A Black woman, you were not attached to any labels, radio stations, nothing. and you were doing your own music showcase in Miami.
Yeah.
And she can do it again.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've had people ask me when I was going to do it again.
The universe telling you to do it again.
Right. And I'm gonna say it on YouTube to the 3 people that's gonna watch the episode, which will be the 3 of us in the room. I'm joking because I know some of y'all gonna watch, but I had to make that joke. I will participate. We will have a MILF Ministry partnership. I ain't gonna be out here all the time. I'm not. That's cap. But at least one of your shows that you do, we can absolutely collaborate. Where it's a milfy night, honey.
Oof.
It's a milfy night.
Milfy.
Listen, honey, you gotta like MILF and cookies to come to this one that night.
Hey. Ooh.
Now, whatever she want to do on her own time, that's her business.
A nice little R&B.
Right. See, she said R&B slow jam. I said clippity clap frequency.
Oh.
When y'all come in, when I partner with her,
Clippity clap.
yes.
It's gonna start off with the R&B, but we gonna leave it with the
clippity
clip
clap.
to send you home.
Yeah.
They try to be nice, y'all. No, you gonna want to fuck as soon as you walk through the door.
No, we need them to stay in.
Right. So they like be ready right away. Like, wait a minute.
Now they pull up, have a drink, and time to go.
Now this music got me.
Right. Thank you. You're right. Thank you.
Listen.
Y'all be done cleared the club that night.
You gonna try to stay.
Right.
Then go
But
and
be
do it.
motivated.
And y'all
Right.
be like that. Ayodele, she talented. We wanted to fuck. We did.
They did what they
Yeah.
said they was gonna do.
Mission accomplished. Now we didn't stay for the artist, so she gonna have to do better. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have to figure it out because we did want to fuck, and we're gonna be able to smoke because my events will always be cannabis friendly, or maybe gummies. It depends on where we at. Let me depend on the jurisdiction, y'all. I ain't okay. But when we in Cali, we smoking. You know, we doing whatever you want to do to get vibed up, and we're being safe. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be good energy because, like I said, I believe in the energy.
Yeah.
The honey for your spirit is the energy of how people are smiling at you and greeting you.
Yeah.
The honey for your spirit is in whoever's the MC making you laugh.
Yeah.
You know, and the honey for your spirit is in the discussion we have. I don't know if I'm gonna have live discussions or not because I really want people to vibe.
Yeah.
And vibes is not sitting down listening to a podcast for 45 minutes. So vibes is the vibe.
Get into the music.
Okay. Get into the music. So I'm gonna figure that out. We're gonna work together. I hope y'all can hear the audio. Let me just throw that out too. Let me just throw that out. Because I'm putting it up anyway.
That should be.
Okay, 85 South do it, Poor Minds do it. Those are some of the podcasts I love and respect. If the audio fucked up, they still upload it. So this shit getting uploaded, y'all. Okay. But anyway, thanks for listening to MILF Ministry Podcast, where we really focus on some honey for your spirit. I'm Ayodele, your motivational MILF, half business, half creative. And my guest today was Tikia. I don't know if she wants y'all to hear her last name a lot, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is for the YouTube. And so you want to give them a rundown of who you are and where they can find you again?
Tikia. And check out my clothing line, intensethreads.com. And
Spell it for them.
oh yeah. NTENZTHREADZ.com.
And I'm gonna try to get the graphics to edit it properly, y'all. I can't promise it. I might put it in the bio if I can. We just getting started with the relaunch, y'all. We growing.
Yes.
And this is a lot for my type A personality, I must say. I might leave this in here because y'all know. I wanted a whole studio. Thank you. I wanted a whole studio. I asked my friend that's a cinematographer what lights I should get. It's a podcast, y'all. I'm asking cinematographers for the lights. I do too much, okay? I'm very grateful. Thank you for coming and talking to me and helping me work through the segments and the technical difficulties and everything.
No problem.
And we're going to see what 2024 look like when you just stay consistent.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about some real music goals off air and be consistent. And I look forward to watching this episode next year and being like, we did it happen.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
We out, y'all.